Alex Kydyrgali and Devon LARRATT recently had a sparring session. During this sparring, Devon shared a lot of technical secrets to the sport of arm wrestling. Today, we're going to be analyzing a video that was put out titled Devon's Magic Tricks. So of course, in Devon LARRATT fashion, we're going to be starting off in this setup. Now, right off the bat, you can already see Alex Kydyrgali attempting to show this guy on the left everything that Devon is talking about. You can see him wiggling his hand, and what he's trying to do is effectively increase his webbing height in this match. Now, because of the way that the thumbs are coming together here, this isn't necessarily an illegal grip. As long as the thumb knuckle is not being covered, you could use this technique and still have an even webbing height and still not be covering your opponent's thumb knuckle. So essentially what's going on here is Alex wants to get his sparring partner's hands closer to Devon's fingertips. He wants this hand to slide directly to the left. Now we see Alex demoing this kind of pronating motion with a little bit of kickback as well. And something that is often the case is that people want to open the match with pronation and they want to open the match with cupping. But what Devon tries to teach people is that often this is not the best thing to do, especially in the opening of the match. Devon is demonstrating the concept that a lot of the time, whatever you want to achieve in the actual match, once the go happens, you need to do the exact opposite in the setup. So if you're trying to pronate, a lot of times in the setup, you actually want to supinate, as this will create slippage in the hands that will promote your pronation later on. And then the same way, if you're trying to cup during a match, a lot of times you're actually going to want to kick back, as Alex is demonstrating here. You can see him kicking his wrist back, showing that this is what will oftentimes promote your cupping once the match actually starts, if you will kick back during the setup. And you can see Devon explaining here that this line that he's drawing right here needs to be covered up. He wants the sparring partner to get his hand closer to this line right here, or closer to the fingertips, by sliding it up, or really more effectively by supinating and causing slippage in the setup. And you can even continue to supinate a little bit after the go occurs. And you can see him sliding his hand up, and then you can see him showing that the way to achieve this is going to be via supination. Notice how Devon uses his hand to slide his sparring partner's elbow toward the back corner of the pad, as this is going to effectively supinate his entire arm. And that is the way that you're going to cause slippage to occur. You don't need to supinate in your wrist, but rather you can even continue to lock your pronation in place. And the way that you implement supination is by twisting your entire body, or by moving your elbow toward the back left corner of the pad. That is going to cause your entire arm to supinate. He moves his shoulder forward even more so, which creates more supination. And you can see Devon demonstrating this vector where you supinate and rise all at the same time, just a little bit, protecting your thumb in the process. And that subtle motion right there of supinating, bringing your elbow forward, bringing your shoulder forward, and rising is what is going to set up your pronation, or it's what is going to promote your pronation once the actual match starts. So you move your elbow to the side in order to supinate, you move it to the front in order to rise, and then you can begin to supinate your hand. And that is what is going to cause you to have effectively higher webbing, even though technically your webbing is the same height. And this is going to make it so much easier to pronate once the actual match starts. And it is also going to dictate who is holding on to who. So definitely a very useful and very cool video put out. It was on the Magda AMC channel, but it could be a little bit difficult to understand what is going on and to understand what Devon is trying to teach in this video. So hopefully this analysis makes it a little bit easier to understand what Devon is trying to showcase here. He's showcasing that whatever you want to achieve in the match, you do the opposite in the setup. In this case, Devon's opponent wants to top roll. He wants to pronate during the actual match. So in the setup, he's going to want to bring his elbow to the front left corner of the pad in order to rise and to supinate through his entire body. And then that is what is going to set up or promote his ability to pronate once the actual match starts.